Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about how I got my pre-baby body back and how to feel good after you've just had a baby. So for those of you guys who have brought a little human being into the world, you'll know that it can take a while before you can feel normal again. For me, it took about 2 weeks after each baby, whether I'd had a C-section or a natural birth, to feel like I was an actual human being again. And that is totally normal. I know that the media can often portray it as being a lot easier than that, and you'll see on social media people getting out and going shopping like the day after they've had their baby, and that's all good for some people, but for others it's not that easy, and you have to know that that is totally okay. There's also a lot of pressure to get back to that pre-baby body, and some women really get down on themselves when they're not getting back to that weight or getting to that size or getting to that feeling as quickly as what they had hoped. So I'm just going to share with you guys a couple of the things that I've learned along the way and the things that have helped me to get back to a place where I'm feeling really happy and confident within myself. So as I mentioned, for me it took about 2 weeks after having each baby to feel like a human being again. But once that hit, I felt like I could actually take on the world. It's important to realize that you can't quite do that at this stage, and your body will tell you that pretty quickly if you start trying to do more than you're capable of doing. Fairly quickly, I started getting very out of breath. I started feeling a lot of pressure down in my pelvic area, and I started getting a lot of cramps, which can be warning signs that you are just taking on way too much and to slow down. It's important that you listen to your body's signals, because if you don't, it can take a lot longer to heal, and nobody wants that. You want to be able to feel normal again and like you actually can cope with the workload that you have, and to do that you just need to accept that you're going to have to rest it out first. During those couple of weeks, my best friend was Spanx. Sounds crazy, sounds like they're for all ladies, but they're seriously not. This is like a skirt version that I've had for a while, and I used with, I think I used this one just with Louis, but I also had another sort of pair of underwear style Spanx that I wore after Heidi and Archie. And then I also had those hospital bandages, you know, the tube bandages. You can get them in about 25, 30 different sizes, but they actually make ones that are big enough to go around your body. If you can get some of that to wrap around your waist, it just works miracles in terms of helping those cramps die down, helping you feel like your body is supported. And believe it or not, it actually really made me feel like my belly went down a lot faster. And I'm the kind of person who doesn't really believe in the waist trainers or anything like that. But after having had a child, I think you do just need something tight around your belly to help things get back to the way that they used to be. And honestly, if it makes you feel better about yourself, then I'm all for it. So that is one little trick which I highly recommend. Then when you do feel ready to get up and get out again, just remember that it's not about losing weight fast. It's about creating a lifestyle which makes you feel good. And when I say that, I mean doing little things like making better food choices or creating a routine that helps you get out and challenge yourself. And you'll find that by doing that, you're not only creating a lifestyle that's good for your body, but also for your mind. You'll come to the end of the day feeling a lot more motivated and like you've achieved something. And that's the end goal, feeling like you've achieved something and feeling positive about what you've done throughout the day. One of the little things that you can do is start drinking a lot more water. I know that pretty much every health, fitness, dieting article is going to tell you to drink lots of water, but a lot of the time they don't tell you why it's so important. And even though it's pretty much common knowledge that everybody needs water to survive, if you've just had a baby, you may not know that your body is in the process of releasing a whole lot of water weight that you've been storing up over the past 9 months. And in order to make sure that you're replenishing yourself, you have to be drinking a lot more water. Also, if you're a breastfeeding mama, you need to make sure that you're drinking lots and lots of water to keep up with your milk supply. A lot of the time people seem to think that if you drink lots of water, you'll become bloated, but it's actually the opposite. If you don't drink enough water, your body's going to bloat out because it starts to store all of your water in the same way that a camel does. And I know that seems like a really bizarre comparison to make, but it's true. You need to make sure that you're keeping up with those fluids, otherwise your body will store it. Another little thing that I used to create that healthy lifestyle that I liked was to shop, shop, shop. I know getting out of the house after having a baby can sound a little bit daunting, particularly if it's your first and everything is new. A big concern for me was always that I would go out and I would suddenly realize that I was missing something important, like a muslin wrap or the pram or nappies or baby wipes. But these are all things which, when you're at a shopping center, you can pretty easily buy, or you can just go home and get it and then either come back to the shops or go out another day. And by doing that, you learn pretty quickly all of the things that you need to be bringing out with you. So it's a nice way to sort of push you out of your comfort zone and get you out and about and active again after having had that baby. For me, it worked wonders. My friend and I, we'd both had babies at the same time. So almost every day we would go out to the shops in the morning session and just go out and be social with each other, really. It wasn't even about shopping and buying things. It was just about getting out, being social and being active as well. Not that we even realized we were being active at the time, because you were so focused on your babies and each other and just having a good time. But during that year after Heidi was born, I lost so much weight. I lost about 15 kilos, and I swear to you guys, during that time I did no exercise. Like, not once did I step into a gym or do any exercise routines or anything that I would have used previously to lose weight. I was seriously just walking around shopping centers. And I'm gonna be honest, you guys, it was not always easy. I was working with a baby who was always changing their routine. But I just found that if she was sleeping, I would have her in the pram, which in those first few months, they do a lot of sleeping. So it was easy enough for me to push her in a pram. And then if she did cry, I just whipped out one of these babies. This here is just a basic stretch wrap, which you tie around your body and your baby just fits into it in front of you. I also had the sling style wraps that go around your shoulder and put Heidi in that. And I never had one of the actual carrier type holders, but I hear they're pretty good too, and they were great because it meant that I was able to hold Heidi and calm her down, but I could also use my arms as well. If I ever needed to nurse, I just pulled one of these out, and this is just a muslin wrap. I'm sure you guys know exactly what these are. If you've ever had a baby, you probably have about 5,000 of these, and they can be used for anything from swaddling to wiping up spit to tying around your neck when you want to shield yourself while nursing. Not everybody likes to do that when nursing, but for me, it just allowed me to have a little bit of privacy while I was walking around the shops and nursing, and most of the people who were walking by were none the wiser anyway. As well as this, I didn't even realize that as Heidi was growing day by day and I was carrying her around on my body, my arms and my core were getting so much stronger. Like, after a few months, I had abs going, and even though I didn't have an amazingly chiseled competition body going, it was enough to make me feel healthy and positive and confident in my abilities. And to me, that's one of the most important things you can have. It's not about having the perfect body or setting goals which are just impossible for you to achieve. It's about feeling good about yourself again, and it is okay to want to achieve that, so long as you're not pushing yourself beyond your own limits and making yourself feel miserable in the meantime. So with that said, I think I'm going to wrap this video up. As always, I want to thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Give it a big thumbs up if you liked it, and if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe if you are new, and if you would like to follow me on any of my other social media accounts, I have Snapchat, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook. I think I've actually said them all this week, but if I haven't, as always, the links are down in the description. And other than that, I'll see you guys all next week. Bye!
We'll never be in love, Savannah.